Hey everyone, and welcome. Ever wonder what dolphins and whales are really saying to each other down there in the big blue? I mean, they're clearly communicating, right? It's not just random squeaks and whistles. Well, get ready to have your mind blown. We're diving deep, really deep, into the fascinating world of cetacean communication. This isn't your average dolphins are smart video. We're talking about complex language, dialects, signature whistles, and maybe even a little bit of underwater gossip. Buckle up, because this is going to be a whale of a time. Okay, so before we get into the nitty-gritty of what they're saying, let's talk about how they're saying it. Forget vocal cords. Dolphins and whales have evolved some pretty unique ways to create sound. For toothed whales, like dolphins, the magic happens mainly in their nasal sacs, located just below their blowhole. They pass air through these sacs, which vibrate and create sound. Think of it like blowing across the top of a bottle, but way more complex. They can actually control the airflow and the tension in these sacs to produce a huge range of clicks, whistles, and bursts. Baleen whales, like humpbacks and blue whales, use a larynx, but it's not quite the same as ours. It doesn't have vocal cords in the traditional sense. Scientists are still figuring out exactly how they produce their low-frequency moans and groans, but it involves vibrating tissues within the larynx and resonating chambers in their body. Imagine a giant organ pipe underwater. The key takeaway here is that both groups have evolved incredibly specialized anatomical features to create sound perfectly adapted for their underwater environment. And that sound travels far in water, much further than sound travels in air. All right, let's talk about echolocation. This is where things get really cool. Many toothed whales, especially dolphins, use echolocation to see their environment. It's like having built-in sonar. They produce a series of clicks, super short, high-frequency sounds, using those nasal sacs we talked about. These clicks are focused and projected forward through their melon, that fatty bump on their forehead. The melon acts like an acoustic lens, directing the sound waves. When these clicks hit an object, like a fish or the seafloor, they bounce back as echoes. The dolphin then receives these echoes through its lower jaw, which is filled with fat that conducts sound very efficiently. These echoes travel to the inner ear, and the dolphin's brain then processes this information to create a mental image of its surroundings. So, they're not just hearing the echoes, they're actually seeing with them. Imagine being able to tell the difference between a tasty tuna and a pesky soytine just by the way sound bounces off them. Pretty incredible, right? Scientists are still unraveling all the nuances of echolocation. They're learning that dolphins can adjust the frequency and intensity of their clicks to get even more detailed information about their targets. Some research even suggests they can stun prey with intense bursts of sound. Now, let's move on to whale songs. If echolocation is like a rapid-fire detective, whale songs are like a complex underwater opera. These are long, elaborate sequences of sounds produced primarily by male baleen whales, especially humpbacks. Whale songs are incredibly complex. They consist of distinct phrases, which are grouped into themes, and themes are repeated in a specific order to create a song. A single song can last for 10 to 30 minutes, and whales can sing for hours. What's even more fascinating is that whale songs evolve over time. Whales within a population will gradually modify their songs, and these changes can spread like wildfire throughout the entire group. It's like an underwater version of hit songs getting remixed and reinterpreted. The purpose of whale songs is still debated, but the leading theory is that they're primarily used for attracting mates. Males sing to advertise their fitness and attract females. Other possibilities include establishing dominance, communicating information about food sources, or even just plain old socializing. Think of it like a complex dating profile, but instead of pictures and witty bios, it's a series of intricate musical phrases. And just like human music, whale songs can be incredibly beautiful and moving. Okay, so whales have opera, but what about dolphins? How do they chat with each other? Well, dolphins rely on a combination of whistles, clicks, and body language to communicate. One of the most important aspects of dolphin communication is the signature whistle. Each dolphin develops its own unique whistle, which acts like a name or identifier. They use these signature whistles to announce their presence. right? Keep track of each other and even call out to specific individuals. Imagine walking around with your name tag constantly broadcasting to everyone around you. That's essentially what dolphins are doing with their signature whistles. It's how they maintain social cohesion within their pods. Amazingly, dolphins can even learn and mimic the signature whistles of other individuals. This is a sign of high intelligence and social awareness. It suggests that they're not just using whistles as simple labels, but as a way to form bonds and communicate complex social information. Besides signature whistles, dolphins also use a variety of other vocalizations, including burst pulses, which are often used in aggressive encounters, and tonal calls, which can be used to coordinate group activities like hunting. And let's not forget about body language. Dolphins use a combination of posture, gestures, and facial expressions to convey information. For example, they might slap their tails on the water to signal danger or rub against each other to strengthen social bonds. Just like humans, different populations of dolphins and whales can develop their own unique dialects. These dialects are variations in vocalizations that are specific to a particular group or region. For example, dolphins living in different parts of the ocean might have slightly different signature whistles or use different types of calls for specific situations. These dialects are learned and passed down through generations, creating distinct cultural identities. And it's not just vocalizations. Cultural differences can also extend to foraging techniques, social behaviors, and even migration patterns. These cultural variations are a testament to the incredible adaptability and intelligence of these animals. Scientists are only just starting to scratch the surface of understanding these cultural differences. Okay, now for a bit of a downer. All this amazing communication is being threatened by something called noise pollution. Human activities like shipping, sonar, and construction are creating a cacophony of noise in the ocean. This noise can interfere with the ability of dolphins and whales to communicate, find food, avoid predators, and navigate. Imagine trying to have a conversation at a rock concert. It's incredibly disruptive and stressful. Studies have shown that noise pollution can lead to a variety of negative impacts on cetaceans, including increasing stress levels, disrupting foraging behavior, masking communication signals, and even causing physical damage to their hearing. In extreme cases, it can even lead to strandings and death. The good news is that there are things we can do to reduce noise pollution. This includes developing quieter ship designs, restricting the use of sonar in sensitive areas, and implementing stricter regulations on underwater construction. So what does the future hold for cetacean communication research? Well, scientists are constantly developing new and innovative technologies to study these animals in their natural environment. This includes using hydrophones to record their vocalizations, underwater cameras to observe their behavior, and acoustic tags to track their movements and monitor their physiological responses. Researchers are also using machine learning and artificial intelligence to analyze the vast amounts of data they're collecting. This is helping them to identify patterns and relationships that would be impossible to detect with traditional methods. And it's not just scientists who are involved. Citizen science projects are also playing an important role in monitoring cetacean populations and collecting data on their behavior. Anyone can get involved and contribute to our understanding of these amazing animals. This deep dive into communication raises some serious ethical questions. The more we learn about the complexity of their communication, the more we have to question keeping these intelligent, social creatures in captivity. Is it ethical to deprive them of the ability to communicate and interact naturally with their families and communities? Understanding cetacean communication is also crucial for their conservation. By understanding how they use sound to navigate, find food, and communicate, we can better protect them from the threats they face, such as habitat loss, pollution, and climate change. Supporting marine protected areas, reducing our carbon footprint, and advocating for stricter regulations on pollution are all ways we can help ensure the survival of these incredible animals. So there you have it, a very deep dive into the fascinating world of dolphin and whale communication. From echolocation to whale songs to signature whistles, These animals have evolved incredibly complex and sophisticated ways to communicate with each other. The more we learn about them, the more we realize just how intelligent and social they truly are. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share it with your friends. And let me know in the comments what other marine mysteries you'd like me to explore. Thanks for watching.